Hello everyone and welcome back to Mordor. We now have a large battle on the horizon, possibly the largest battle we've fought in this campaign so far. We've got like 4,800 evil and about 4,800 men, I suppose. Well, we have a mixed force of evil. And so yeah, we're about balanced as far as numbers go. Unfortunately, the Gondorians have 3 generals. They've got Cathor, Nerion, and Hirluin. Unfortunately, Dondeth, the Mean, is the only general we have right now. And of course, the Gondorians actually have quite a lot of strong units right now. They've got a massive amount of heavy infantry in the form of their militiamen and their spearmen/swordsmen. And unfortunately, all of the men of Harad are very lightly armored, and of course my orcs aren't really that heavy either, so I think we're quite outclassed in this battle, but we'll do our best to fight these guys as best we can. I don't think it's going to go in our favor, and you know what? I don't really know why I can't withdraw, because I would. If I had the opportunity, I would withdraw and leave the Haradrim to their fate, and then I would just do night battles and pick these armies apart one at a time. Unfortunately, I don't have the option to decline or withdraw from the battle. I have to fight the battle or auto-resolve the battle, but I think it's better if we hop in. So, you know what? Enough fucking rambling. Let's jump in on this battle. So unfortunately, as we are a reinforcing army, we can't really do our deployment. But here's the army of Harad. It's all light units, save for this unit of Serpent Guard. And they're going to do their best to pin this Gondorian army in place, but it's not going to go well at all. Our army is way the hell over here. So we're going to have to run to reinforce the Haradrim, and I don't think we're going to make it in time. These guys are going to get picked apart. They're already being absolutely decimated by the superior firepower of the Gondorians. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of my spear units. Actually, we'll speed through the battle here really quickly. I'm going to grab all of my spear units, my orc bands, etc. I'm going to build a line, and we're going to pretend that the Haradrim aren't even there, because we are not going to be able to arrive in time to save those assholes, unfortunately. But we'll do our best. There we go. That's our spear line. If I could only draw it. There we go. Then I've got my left flank, like so. And then I've got my right flank. Unfortunately, I forgot a unit of spearmen there. Okay, we'll do this then. Blam. Alright, and then Dondeth is here, of course, and the troll catapults, and then our unit of scouts. Let's not forget our unit of scouts. Okay, all of our units actually need to rush forward. Yeah, look at this. The Haradrim are just being smashed to bits, unfortunately. Maybe Dondeth can rush forward to attempt to save them, but we need to... I think we're going to try to save these ballistas because they would be quite useful. The trolls are on the left flank, that's right. The right flank, here we go. These catapults are going to march forward, and my scouts, of course, likewise. Okay, Dondeth is going to rush forward at lightning speed, at ludicrous speed, as Mel Brooks would say, and we're going to try to harass a bit with... Oh, shit. We're going to try to harass a bit with him. Although, it's not going to be so much harassment as desperate maneuvers. Here's the reinforcing army of Harad, and unfortunately, they are already being tied down by a general that we can actually try to cut down. That would be great. Let's rush to their aid. Oh, I paused it again. I'm so dumb. Oh, I paused it a third time. 3 times as dumb. So, fuck. Dondeth is going to rush to catch this general. Unfortunately, we've got a unit of Gondor infantry already charging to ruin our plans, and the Gondorians have already made it to the baggage train. That is, they've torn through this entire army, they're routing, and they are now feasting upon the souls of the ballistamen. How macabre. We're going to have to redraw our lines a little bit so we're not running into Gondorian units, I think. There we are. We want them to come to us, basically. We don't want to rush into this too much. Except for Dondeth, of course. We want him to kill that Gondorian captain, because if we... Well, I don't mean captain, I mean general. Because if we're going to glean anything from this battle, it's that... Oh, shit, there's a bunch of archer units right there. Look at that. We're ready to rock. A single unit of Gondorian infantry has marched forward. We're going to try to take them out with our archers. Unfortunately, let's intentionally pause it. Here we go. It looks like the Gondorians have actually begun to issue plate armor to their infantry, so now they're a bit of a pain in the ass to deal with. Usually, you know, they're just in chain and leather, but now, no, they're full-on rocking bits of plate mail. Well, they don't have the breastplate, though, so I mean, that's something. Okay, the Haradrim are now forced to withdraw through our own lines, and now these Gondorian infantry units are approaching our spear lines one at a time. We're going to kill a general here. Who is it? Is it Hughlwyn? Okay, place your bets. We're going to find out who it is right now. It's Cathor, actually, the general of the largest Gondorian army, which is nice. Okay, so now we can pull back with Dondeth, because he was going to hurt... Oh shit, is this another general? Yes, it is. We could potentially take him out, too. We were going to harass those archer units, but it appears that those archer units are... Oh, what's going on? We lost Captain of Harad, it appears. Those archer units are now overrun with other Gondorian units, so we're not going to be able to harass very well with them. Dondeth is now in position. He's going to charge into the rears, well, not the rears, but the flanks of some of these units. Unfortunately, he's about to be intercepted by a unit of Citadel Guard and the like, who is going to have to be crushed by our trolls and whatnot. Let's intercept the Citadel Guard with our Morning Guard, and then you'll use our flanking force to smash through this militia. I don't know what the fuck Dondeth is doing. I keep telling him to pull through our lines, but he's like, nope, I really don't want to do that. Oh, for a second I thought the ballistas were still in operation, but no, it's just some fucking rangers messing with me. Okay, so my trolls have just smashed into a unit of militia, and somehow these guys are still going. I guess we can flank with this force here now a little bit. Let's get our unit of maulers to charge into the rears of these guys. Oh, you must excuse the lag, everyone. Medieval 2 is so old that it actually runs shitty. You'd think that an old game like this would just run super smoothly, but no, it doesn't have the ability to run on multiple cores. It doesn't have support for, you know, like over 4 gigabytes of RAM, because it was written for 32-bit OSs. I've got a patch on right now that's supposed to help with crashes and the like, which it seems to have done. I would have crashed long ago if I didn't have that patch, but I mean, it's not the greatest. Okay, my flanking force is actually going to charge after some archers, because unfortunately the Gondorians have massive missile superiority, so they're just tearing through my fucking army. It looks like we are having to charge into some more militia with our trolls on the left flank, which isn't a big deal. I think they can smash through quite nicely. Look at that, we routed a unit of Gondorian infantry, so now we can move an orc band forward. Dondeth, unfortunately, is receiving a huge amount of missile fire, which is not the greatest. That's his one weakness, is fucking archers. I mean, that's usually everyone's, you know, anyone's weakness, really, but in his particular case, it's his weakness. My trolls are going to have to flank those spearmen. They're apparently not in a very good position. Well, I would say not a very good position to be in right now. They're bogged down in infantry combat, which is, I mean, that's great for them. But unfortunately, when they start receiving a lot of wounds, they just start dropping like flies. So I'm going to try to get them out of... Oh shit, another fucking general there. And another general. Let's try to cut down as many of these generals as possible. Dondeth is just not fucking listening to anything I'm saying today. I don't know what's going on. I guess maybe I don't have the right badge. Like, he's like a Charizard and he just doesn't want to listen to anything I say. So my trolls are now in the midst of a huge infantry battle, which, like I said, is okay, but I would prefer that was not the case. They should really be smashing their way around, flanking everyone. We're now being flanked and everything from the rear, so I'm actually going to utilize my troll catapults as an additional unit of trolls, whilst these trolls try to... Well, they're not going to rout those Citadel Guard, that's for sure. Did we kill a general? No. Okay, well, let's sick... Oh, shit. This unit of trolls is just smashed into a unit of Gondorian spearmen. My catapults, likewise. Dondeth has pinned a general now. My unit of Uruk halberds is not doing anything. There's 75 of them left, and... Oh, actually, they're engaging that general. Let's leave them to it. Dondeth is going to charge in. My initial unit of trolls is not doing too bad. My troll catapults, taking out those marines. Our lines are beginning to fold, unfortunately. Which is... Oh, shit. Our right flank was just smashed to bits by a unit of militiamen. I think, oh shit, now my trolls are beginning to fall, unfortunately. My troll catapult's still doing good. Unfortunately, we're going to lose this battle. I think it's a given, but I think if we manage to kill a lot of these generals and escape with Dawn Death, then we will have won in the end. Well, no, we will not have won, actually, but, I mean, we can always regroup in Minas Tirith, but the less generals that Gondor has to throw at us, the better. Unfortunately, we are going to lose a lot of these trolls as well. They're now taking huge amounts of arrows. My troll catapults are beginning to fall. Dawn Death is still fighting to the last, trying to kill that general. We've got both generals bogged down in our units, and Dawn Death just needs to sweep it up and leave the battle. Oh, shit. Who is not engaged right now? Everyone appears to be engaged. So that one general has just slipped through our grasp, it seems, unfortunately for us. But our unit of Orc Band is going to try to oh my god, these generals are fucking feisty, I'll tell you that. Oh shit, my Troll Catapult is now charged by a unit of Gondor Militia Cavalry. Oh shit. We're receiving a lot of siege engine fire now, unfortunately for us. I'm very scared for Dawn Death. I think I'm going to pull him back, actually, because if he dies, then we'll have lost immediately. I mean, we're losing already, but I think the amount of hit points that he is lost right now it's too much. It's almost unbearable. This unit of fucking general is being an absolute prickhead. Like, he just needs to stay still and die, and that goes for all of the generals, actually. They just need to stay still and die. Speaking of, I think we're actually being chased by this one last general. The scout unit is going to fire at them, and I think Dawn Death is just going to straight up retreat. Let's retreat here. We don't have any units left, actually. We have two fucking generals trying to cut down as many of our men as possible. Unfortunately, they just aren't dying. I think it's perhaps because they're like story characters, named characters, who seem to have an immense amount of hit points, it seems. I mean, Cathor seemed to die pretty easily, but these fucking guys, Hirluin and the other asshole, they don't seem to be dying at any time. But you know what? That went a lot better than I thought I was going to. We actually killed, in my opinion, quite a lot of Gondorians, although we probably... Our KDR is probably not good at all. We have one last singular troll. I'm really curious to see what the kills on these troll units are like, because we've got our catapult troll. Oh no, never mind. It's just our banner bearer. The trolls themselves have died, but the banner bearer lives on. I don't know what's going on there. I don't have a good history with banner bearers. They always seem to be fucking my shit. Okay, these are seriously the only two units I have. It's just these trolls, and I love that the Gondorians are firing all of their arrows. Let's just take a minute to appreciate this. They're firing all of their arrows, all their fire arrows at this singular troll, who we shall name Bedwick. I think that's a good troll name. Oh, they're even firing catapults at these units. Oh, Bedwick died, unfortunately. They're firing all of their missile units at these trolls, and really, they're killing like every single Gondorian engaged just to kill this one guy, like collateral damage much. Okay, you know what? Let's just speed to this guy's untimely demise. Oh my fucking god. See, that's just a ballista bolt tearing through the heart of their own formation. Unbelievable. Okay. No one is left in my army except for this fucking banner bearer. What's going on? This guy's immortal. Okay, there we go. Clear defeat. Enemies killed 1,090. I almost said 900, but no, it's 1090. That's how many Gondorians we killed. We lost 2,400, so, like I said, not really great. Dawn Death killed 130 Gondorians, but my trolls, holy shit, they killed 245. And then my catapult killed only 56. Not the best. My trolls lost all 9 experience because, well, they're dead. We didn't heal a single casualty from this battle, unfortunately. So we're just going to be walking away with a bunch of infantry. I think we lost our trolls outright, which is not great. So there you have it. The Battle of Ringlow Vale, 3012. Nah, not too good, guys. Although we did kill Cathor, so that's something. Okay, here we go. We're retreating. If only I had another stack, I could actually march on Ethring and just take out all those Gondorians. They're not too strong right now. They've got maybe like a stack and a half of men, just kind of distributed amongst their remaining armies. Okay, we've got a candidate for adoption. It's Yagrat. Benefactor Zegduff. We don't need to adopt this guy, I don't think. Even though we... Oh my god. Even though we have a liquid per turn income of like 5,500 gold coins. Okay, Gondor executed our prisoners, which is to be expected, I would say. Because I would do the same. Dondeth, unfortunately, is going to have to retreat to Minas Tirith. And we're going to have to recruit a shit ton to replace his losses. As for Hormarath, let's see, he's got a lot of Uruks, a lot of halberds, a few spear units. I believe there's a unit of Morning Guard there, and then, of course, a unit of Maulers. There we go. That is Hormarath's army. He is going to march to defeat Captain Wolf, but you know what, before we do that, let's place him in an ambush position. Perhaps Wolf will get caught in that ambush and we can actually just slaughter the Rohirrim. That would be freaking great. That would be literally like the best. You know, we need to recruit. Well, yeah, we do need to recruit, but we also need to retrain quite a few units here in Minas Tirith, and then we'll recruit a few Orc Raiders in West Osgiliath. Okay, as for buildings, I think Minas Tirith needs to build I would say a ballista maker. We're very nearly at 66%, which will allow us to recruit Uruks in Minas Tirith, which would be a dream come true, really, because we really need to get a better logistical flow, because right now all of our powerful units are coming from Barad-dûr, and it's quite a few turns. It's a very long march from Barad-dûr to our front lines right now. So to have a secondary recruitment center in Minas Tirith, Pelargir, Arnak, that would be... Oh, I'm kind of getting a boner just thinking about it. But like I said, let's build a ballista maker in Minas Tirith. We're recruiting in West Osgiliath, placing some units, 2 units of Maulers in West Osgiliath. They're going to march towards Minas Tirith. We've got another unit of Raiders headed to the front lines. Raiders and Orc Band and everything are nice, but I think we're getting to a point where we can have a lot of Uruks in our armies. And speaking of, we have 2 units in Barad-dûr. And we shall oh shit, guys. Fuck, I completely forgot that our troll training grounds had been completed. So we're going to replace our mountain trolls in Dondeth's army with some fucking Olagai. Look at this. Oh my god. 650. For an additional 150 coins per turn, we may as well get these armored brutes and dominate the world. I'm excited. In addition, let's get a unit of Uruks, I suppose. Okay, there we go. Now these 2 units are going to have to march to Minas Tirith. These 2 units are, of course, marching north towards Thornburg, because, as we can see, Dwarf is going to have to deal with, what's his name? Prince Legolas the Just, eventually. Oh, not just Prince Legolas the Just, but also Celeborn the Just. Everyone is the Just when you're in the Elven lands, apparently. They don't actually have judges, they just have a panel of judges. It's the X Factor. If you're guilty, they have big buzzers, and if you can't explain away your crimes, they just buzz. 3 buzzes or 2 buzzes or whatever, and then you get executed. But anyway, Lagov has dropped a tower, and now he's actually he might as well head to the Black Gate actually and hold down the fort there. Dwarf Wa is going to move into the control zone of Legolas, who seems to have quite a weak army actually. He's got only half a stack of elves. He's got a lot of men. Oh shit, guys. Not only is it Legolas, Celeborn, but it's also Brett from Flight of the Conchords. I'm not sure if you're aware. Funny story, Brett from Flight of the Conchords was an extra in Fellowship of the Ring, and some woman somewhere saw him in the background and just absolutely fell in love, and actually created a fan club around this guy about an extra, and I can't remember what his name was, but he was so popular they gave him a larger role in the 3rd Lord of the Rings, and now he actually has an even larger role in The Hobbit. Interesting. If you haven't watched Flight of the Conchords, I suggest you do, because it is pretty fucking good. But you know what? I think we need to take a look around with our spies, and then we can end the turn here. Mauler is going to keep an eye on Ethring, because, well, we have no idea what the Gondorians are going to do. There's not... Oh, shit. Captain Marwan has just immediately charged forward towards Ethring and closed the gap there. I thought the Gondorians were going to have free range over the river here, but no, they are, of course, blocked at that bridge. by, what's his nuts? I've already forgotten his name. It's Marwan. Luglun is going to have to take a look at Dol Amroth. Captain Hyman there a little bit. Captain Himdor. And then, of course, we've got Imrahil the Just as well. In Dol Amroth, maybe they should actually create a league of people that are the Just, and they could perhaps call it the Just League. Not Justice League, it's the Just League, because they're all the Just. Pelargir is very nearly ready to upgrade. Unfortunately, the culture is still very lackluster. It's 15% because we have not been able to build this Temple of Melkor yet. Arnak, although, is at 28%, and we should build this Dark Temple of Melkor, but it's not such a big deal in Arnak because Arnak only has a barracks. Not really. We haven't built a drill square yet. I'm not sure if we even can, but there is a barracks in Arnak, and I'm sure we can use some units from that building, but it's not as cool as Minas Tirith or even Pelargir, which I'm sure has. No, Pelargir also has a barracks. I was thinking it had a drill square as well. Gorshag, once again, taking a look at Dol Guldur, which is empty as shit. We've got Erendur here, and that's about it. And then, of course, Captain Ovorian, Captain Edeniston, our good old friend Edeniston. What a name. And then we've got our two spies in Rohan. I think Lug is going to have to keep an eye on the northern border of Rohan. And then, of course, we've got Gorthak, who's going to have to keep an eye on the eastern shores. I don't really see too many men from Rohan right now, except for Captain Leafa and Captain Wolf. But other than that, there's not much to be seen from Rohan right now, which is great. Once Dondath gets back up and running, we're going to continue stomping across Gondor, if at all possible. Hormarath, of course, is going to have to hold the fort in the north here once he pushes these guys back. But yeah, you know what? Let's do another turn here. Well, shit, guys. It's not looking so good around Arnak. The Haradrim were beat back off this bridge here. Now the Gondorians have been unleashed, and we're going to have to make some extreme moves to protect Arnak. I think what we'll have to do is retrain and reinforce this region as much as possible and place Dondath once again on the bridge here so that Hirluin and Captain Halen have nowhere to go. They're going to have to go through Dondath. Maybe the Haradrim will... Oh shit, Lord Kusay is marching on Dol Amroth. Look at that. I swear to Christ, if he fucking captures Dol Amroth before he moves on Ethring or deals with these Gondorians in the north, I'm going to be quite cross. Cross indeed. Now, our profits this turn were only 1,800, and I'm not sure... Did we really recruit that much? I don't know. We've built an administration in Nurnen, which allows us to crank the taxes. No, it doesn't. We only have high taxes in Nurnen, and that's probably as high as they're going to go for a very long time. Pelargir, likewise, we've finally upgraded the place, and Squalor is still through the roof, unfortunately. And it's as large as Pelargir is going to get, it seems. Oh shit, we can actually build a prison, though, which would give us a public order bonus. We can also build a drill square, which is nice, and a great market. There's so many buildings in Pelargir. And then, of course, here's all of our recruitment. We've only recruited 4 units this turn, so I don't really know why our profits are so low. 2,500 from construction. I see. We started a building, so we're looking at 4,000 per turn, roughly, which is not bad. We now have a unit of Olaghai and Uruks in Barad-dûr, which are going to have to march towards Minas Tirith. We could recruit trolls as well, but I'd rather have stronger infantry in the force, in the form of Morning Guard and halberds, I would say. Oh, we do actually need some troll catapults, so I'm going to replace the halberds with a troll catapult. There we are. Now our units are continuing to march north, and look at that. Fucking the League of the Just. The Just League are now marching north because they saw Dwarf Wall and they just went, oh my fucking god. He's got massive spiders, guys. Let's not fuck with this guy. He knows what's up. I guess these last 2 units are all that Dwarf Wall needs. And then these 2 units are reinforcements, I would say, for Thornburg. Laguf, of course, to the Black Gate, like so. And then Barad-dûr we're already recruiting. I don't know why I clicked on that. These guys are, of course, heading to Minas Tirith. These guys as well. These guys as well. Okay, we've got a lot of units on the way. Hormrath. Oh, yes, and of course, Captain Wolf also pulled back. So Hormwrath is going to have to move forward into another ambush position, I would say, just so we're not seen. He's going to garrison in this fort for now. Once we see an army of Rohan approaching, he can move to this bridge or that bridge, and that's what the advanced warning system in the form of Lug and Gorthak is for. Once we see an army of Rohan marching to our lands, we can respond with Hormwrath. A Jew is still in Minas Tirith. Unfortunately, all of his units are going to have to march towards Arnak. And that means all of these scouts... Oh shit, we're not going to make it though. All of these units here. What can we do with these units? Nothing. All of these weak units are going to retreat back to Minas Tirith. They're no good here. All of these units will march towards Arnak. And if need be, I suppose... we can actually camp on this bridge as opposed to the other bridge. No. Fuck.
Listen up. No sleeping here.
There's not much to do, guys. We may abandon Arnak right now. Actually, like that. And hopefully they don't just march in and take it, which of course they will. I suppose I should actually leave some forces in there so they're forced to besiege the place. There we go. But there we go. I just don't want Dondeth, rather, and Gordish to be trapped in Arnak against a superior force and then annihilated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this army on the bridge here. They're going to receive reinforcements in the form of Captain Nagthak and whatever else. And then we can push back. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have that strong of an army. Oh shit, look at Pelargir. It looks even shittier now. What happened? It was a town before, a bustling city on the river, and now it's turned into a wooden palisaded village. Oh my god, I don't know what happened there. Okay, Mahler is going to take a look at these armies here. What do we got? Hirween. Well, he's got a shitty army as well, actually, as well as, well, Captain Holland actually has quite an army. Unfortunately for us, let's take a look at Lord Cusay. Where is my other spy? He is next to Tarnost for some reason, when in reality he needs to be near Dolomrod. I don't know what I did that for. Oh my god, Captain Ovarian is got quite an army. And that's pretty much all there is in Mirkwood, so I'm sure Dwarf Wong can do something with that. But there we go. That's pretty much it for this episode, I think. Unfortunately, our offensive in Gondor has taken a turn for the worst. I think their cheating scripts have gotten the better of us, because Harad is starting to lose steam, I think, and unfortunately we weren't strong enough to pick up the slack. So now it's beginning to crumble. We're just going to have to wait for some stronger units to come from Barad-dûr, Minas Tirith, etc. And then we can begin to push again. Yeah. There you go, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do with Dwarf Wa and Hormwrath for now. I think we may just have them as defensive forces, and then we'll probably actually have to use a Jew to build an army and support Dondeth, because technically there's not a lot of action going on between Rohan and the elves and us. It's really just all Gondor right now, so I think we'll have to concentrate our forces and get it dealt with. I could push with Hormwrath, of course, but I don't want to get overwhelmed there just like I have done in Gondor. That's the thing, I'm stretched so thinly. I've got one stack on each front, and that one stack is not really powerful enough to do anything worthwhile and hold on to it. Like, I could push with Dwarf Wa and take Dol Guldur, but then he would just be stuck in Dol Guldur for eternity, garrisoning the place against Sylvan attacks. Same with Hormwrath. So I think we're forced to push into Gondor before we do anything else. Unfortunately for us, we only have 270 turns remaining to complete our mission. We've already played 130 turns, so we're getting there. It's been 1/3 of the campaign, I would say, nearly, and we really need to pick up some steam here and finish this campaign. But anyway, thank you for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys next episode.